Oh, as I'm sitting here, door dashing, trying to make some money, I can't stop my head to stop thinking about all this stuff. I actually stopped working a full time job maybe I want to say like a month ago. Um, I stopped working and I just been spending a lot of time on my mind trying to build a life that I want. This is like the most time I spent trying to do that for myself. Um, and the more I spend time in my mind, I'm just like, damn, we really, everything just feels so fucking made up to me. And I've been struggling with that for a long time now, maybe 3 years. But it has gotten stronger, like the feeling, the thought of just being part of a society that makes it so hard to be a regular person and to have a sustainable life. It's hard out here. Like everything is about money. It's just like work, 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 money, money, pay bills, pay rent, pay this, pay that, become famous. This was so like upside down to me. It's really sad. Like I'm like, have people really forgotten about what this life really means? Like, do people really are people really that disconnected from the truth? And it's like, I get it. As humans, we do have to keep our mind busy, work, things like that. But it just, the way that it is now, it to me, it just blows my mind sometimes how people just hustle all the time. And it's okay to be a hustler, get your money, whatever. I used to be that type of person, but I've just gotten so disconnected from that kind of lifestyle. I don't know what it is about me. I don't know what changed inside of me. I don't know what in my mind changed. But it just, like I said, everything just feels so made up. It's like, why are we doing all this for? And I get it. People do have their goals. Like, yes, I'm gonna get my money. I'm gonna buy my house. I'm gonna invest in this and that. But then I think about, like, I don't know if I'm thinking from like a spirit perspective, where it's like, and like, I don't know if this is gonna sound negative or what, but it's like you are focusing so much on investing and doing all this stuff with your money, but when people die, it's like, where are you going to take that? All the money, all the stuff that you have invested. Like, it's cool to have that as a human in this world. Like, okay, cool, but it's like, oh, I don't know if I'm making sense, honestly. Because now, like, I feel like since my mind has changed, like, I don't know if if I'll be able to even do that. Like, I don't want to have a life that is so focused on material things. Like, I've just got so, like I said, so disconnected from all of that. I wish I could just go to the ocean or to a jungle and just exist and create art. That's literally what I want. All this made up shit, it's like, who created all these rules? Like, who came up with all this shit, bro? Like, who? I want to know who. All these fast food places, it's like they're giving us shit to put into our bodies. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I've been part of that. I am still part of that. I live in a city, so I'm still very much part of all of that in a way. But it just makes me sad. It makes me sad how, and I keep saying it, how everything just feels made up. They're always trying to get something from us all the time. All the fucking time. They're always trying to get something from us. Even like, even if you're like your own boss, doing, creating your own stuff, your own art, your own apps, whatever you create, whatever you come up with, you still have to go through certain things to give the other person money or whatever. It's like we can never create something that's just for us and for the people, purely for the people, not for somebody else to get some type of income or advantages or whatever. It's never about that. It's never, the intentions are never pure. And it's crazy. It's crazy how even if they make it seem like it's a good thing, there's always somebody or something feeding off of that. And not in a good way. It's crazy. It's crazy how everything just feels so fucking made up. I wish I had never gotten to this point, because I would be more motivated to be a hustler and to get money and to do this and to do that. But it's just like my spirit just doesn't want to do that. It doesn't. And again, when you are so disconnected from that, it's so hard to survive in a world that is like that. That is based on income, based on what car you have, based on how many views you got, based on the clothes you wear, based on all of this shit that is fake, that no one really, I mean, no, people do care, but shit that is just fucking made up. It's egotistic shit that should not exist at all, It's crazy. And like I said, I wish I had never gotten to this point in my life, because I'm just like, damn, now how the fuck am I gonna survive? How do I create a living for myself without suffering, or without being homeless, or without, without suffering? It's hard. Especially in a country that's built off of that. Every country has their own rules and things like that, but damn it's hard, man. It's just hard. It's hard to do that, to build something for you that's gonna fulfill you as a soul, not as a human, but as a soul, as a spirit. Because when we feed that to our souls and spirits, we give back to the people in a genuine way, But yeah, and I'm not saying that because I don't want this to get out of context, or but I'm not saying that there's companies that are doing good out in this world. I bet there is, but like I said, just how those companies are doing something good, there's someone always behind scenes, getting advantages because of that company, you know. Um, and I will say this: I used to work for this company. I've been a caregiver. I've been in the medical field for about 10 years. Uh, the shit that goes on in there is crazy. The shit that you see is crazy. People work there. People work as a CNA and don't even care about who they're taking care of. I've seen that a lot. But anyways, I used to work for this company when I moved to the city. I used to work at a daycare for like seniors and things like that with dementia, and it was such a good company in the beginning. Like, everybody was nice, treated me nicely, things like that. But then as time went by, you start to see things that I'm just like, okay, so you guys aren't as good as you say y'all are. Um, and not necessarily that their actions are messed up, but it's more like an energy thing. Like, people are just kind of fake. They don't really care, and you can feel the vibe. Especially when people are like more empathetic and more in tune with like their, with that side of them. You can feel the energy. You can feel the energy of a place, of people. And yeah, I just started noticing things that I was just like, okay, you guys are not as good as y'all make it seem like to be. And things started happening. It was just a messed up situation there, because again, I feel like when you're real, when a person is real, and they really speak their mind, and they really, they just really say what's on their mind, not because they're a bad person, but because it's a real thing. People don't like to get confronted about their bullshit. They hate that. People who are fake, not genuine, they hate that. They hate to get confronted by the truth. And yeah, I don't know what I'm saying now, but that's just kind of what happened. At the last job, I kind of, things like that happen, and I'm just a real person. I like to speak with the truth, and some people don't like it. And like I say, there was just things that I was like, oh, this is not okay at all. But yeah, that's my main thing. I'm just like, I just wish people were more connected to their souls. So when we are good to ourselves, we are good to other people, and we create for the people. When we create for ourselves, we create for the people. Not to get something back. No, not to get anything back. Just to simply give to the people and to ourselves. That would be my perfect world, honestly, to just live and create, and we all feed from each other. Not in a materialistic way, not in an egotistic way. And these are things that I'm still, like I said, I'm still working on them. I'm not saying that, like, I'm this super spiritual person and just not egotistic at all, but I try to work on those things every day to be my best self. And it's a fight, honestly. Like, it's a fight to survive, like I said, in a world that's just full of those things. Hopefully I'm not rambling. But yeah, And I hope that this doesn't come off like a negative thing, like, oh, I'm just so tired of this society. Like, it's just, I just, yeah, I just want a better place for the people and for everybody. Um, I meet so many people who are tired of their jobs, people who are stressed, people who I've met so many people who are just unhappy. So many. So many. And that saddens me, honestly, because it's people who are older now, like who are in their 40s and who have worked their whole lives to invest. People who invest years in the same company, and they don't get anything back. And yeah, I know some companies, like, they reward uh, co-workers and things, but it's just not enough. Sometimes I see people who work so hard and they're just not rewarded at all. And I know companies can't do it all the time, but it's just, it also depends on the person. I feel like when somebody's just also disconnected from the spirit, like, they tend to do things like that, overwork themselves, give themselves to a company, do things like that. So it's the job and the person too, you know um but yeah, that's my that's my wish, to just build a better place for people. I don't know how, because it just seems like we're too deep in this hole, and it just seems impossible to get out of there. But I have faith. I have faith that there's people out there that do care for humanity, that there's people out there who actually care for the people, and that are going to do great things for the people and for themselves. So that gives me hope. That gives me a lot of hope, because I know that there's people that want to inspire people to be their best selves, to be the best that they can be. Because when you are your best self, you give everything that you are to inspire other people. So like I said, that brings me hope. That brings me hope, because I know there's people out there that do care for humanity. But yeah, I'm just rambling. I'm just sitting here, like I said, waiting for orders. And yeah, that's it, y'all. Love y'all.